Hello there everybody, Bilbo10000 here, bringing you a Nintendo Direct discussion thoughts video, because last night we had the Nintendo Direct of this September, and we got a lot of information. There were a lot of games announced, there was a lot of information dropped, and I think it's about time we sit down, take a little look at exactly what was announced and just kind of go over it. So I'm gonna go in the order that the Direct showed everything. So we're gonna start with the first moment of the Direct. It opens up to Luigi, and everyone's thinking Luigi's Mansion for 3DS because they always start with the 3DS. And then bam! Luigi's Mansion 3, it's got a working title, so it's clearly quite early in development, but Luigi's Mansion 3 has been confirmed and it is coming to the Nintendo Switch. That is pretty big news. However, I don't think the graphics were anything to write home about, because I initially thought it was a 3DS game, literally until after the Direct had ended and I had gone back. So I don't know if that bodes well for Luigi's Mansion 3, but it is good that the game is coming. On top of that, we then went to the 3DS and we got some more information on some 3DS games. Luigi's Mansion 3D is coming to the 3DS, and it has co-op gameplay, which is very exciting for those of you who want to have a friend and you guys want to play together with your Luigi's Mansion. It's got a lot of tweaks to the gameplay, and the game looks as solid as ever. They focused on Bowser's Inside Story because they wanted to take a look at Bowser Jr.'s journey, which is just Bowser's minions, just in Bowser's Inside Story, and the gameplay looks just as bad as it did in Bowser's Minions, so I don't know if anyone's actually excited for that little side story. The only real exciting part is the cutscenes, and you can watch those on YouTube if you can't stomach that gameplay. But on the plus side, Bowser's Inside Story itself is looking brilliant, and I think everyone is excited for when it comes out. A really surprising announcement for some, Kirbys Extra Epic Yarn was announced. Now, I wasn't actually that surprised because I had watched the Game Explain predictions video before this, and John of Game Explain predicted this, as well as a few other things in the Direct, which makes me think he might be an insider, but at the same time, it kind of diminished the excitement of Kirbys Extra Epic Yarn. At the same time though, I think it makes sense to place it on the 3DS because it wasn't really a hard-hitting game on the Wii U. I believe it was on the Wii U. It might have been on the Wii. I apologize if I got that wrong. But I don't think it was that much of a hard-hitting game, so it makes sense to kind of put it on the console that, you know, is fading out now. And it's got a nice bit of extra content. You can play as DDD and Meta Knight in certain stages. I really like that. It really seems to fit the 3DS screen, and I think it's going to be a lovely little game for 3DS owners. And lastly, we had Yokai Watch Blasters. I personally don't really care for the Yokai Watch series. Good to see that it's not dead, but at the same time, every time I look at a new game in the Yokai Watch franchise, I have no clue what this franchise's identity is, because it feels like the gameplay gets switched up so much that it becomes very impossible to keep track of, and I'm just not really a big fan. So that's the 3DS, the 4 games. So it kind of says a lot. The 3DS is on its last legs, I feel. I don't think it's going to be getting much support any longer. I doubt we'll be seeing any more Fire Emblems or Pokemons or what have yous. I think everyone is going to be migrating to the Switch, and I think if you haven't bought a Switch yet, now is the best time to pick one up. So, moving on to the Nintendo Switch, we start off with Splatoon 2. It has this really cool sort of animated intro. Well, not animated, it's in-game intro, but it's kind of stylized like a music video or an anime opening in a sense. Like, that was what a lot of the people in my Twitch chat were thinking when we watched it. I didn't really know what was going on, but I really like that really big hammer, that ban hammer slamming down on Splatoon. I saw the number 100 at one point, which makes me think that there is something to do with the number 100. Quite frankly, I don't know much about Splatoon 2. It looks bloody awesome, and when I eventually pick up the game, I am sure I am going to have a blast. Moving on, Mega Man 11 got a bit more of focus in the Direct. Clearly, it announced the demo that was meant to be announced last week, as well as amiibo functionality for the game. If you tap a Mega Man amiibo, be it the new Mega Man 11 amiibo or the Mega Man Smash amiibo, onto your game, you will get a free item, like an E-Tank or something, and that I think could be very helpful if you're kind of like in a wily stage and you can't buy any E-Tanks and you're kind of trapped. I think that would be a really cool thing. I probably might use it once or twice when I play through the game on October 2nd. I think it's a good looking game. I am sold by the gameplay. I'm excited to play a new Mega Man game and experience these Robot Masters and these stages blindly, and I think it's going to be really fun. So, Mario Tennis Aces got an update, and I famously said in my last predictions video that Mario Tennis Aces would not get an update after saying in the prior predictions video that it would. So, in the end, I was wrong. And Mario Tennis Aces has Birdo, Shy Guy, Koopa Paratrooper, and PT Piranha coming to the game as new characters. On top of this, there is going to be co-op gameplay missions that you can play with your friends and hopefully online as well, and they will be getting offered until next June, I believe. That's when they said the game would stop being updated. I think that was like the cutoff point. And a lot of these missions are kind of, you have to do it then and there, otherwise you lose out on that. And if you do these missions, you get free costumes for your characters. So finally, there is an element of customization to Mario Tennis Aces. I do wish this sort of stuff was in the base game, but I understand that this is, it was a good segment in the Direct, and I'm personally hyped. I love Tennis Aces, I thought it was a great game, and I was playing it literally just yesterday, so I'm excited to see this new stuff coming, and that's coming later on this month. Capcom released a beat-em-up bundle of like 7 different beat-em-up style games. Personally not my cup of tea, but there is an audience out there. 2 of them were games that had never been on a console before, so that's pretty big that the Switch is getting some console exclusives, some first-time console debuts, you know, that sort of thing. I think that's just really cool. Good to see Capcom is still supporting the Switch and is still being cool, because, you know, we got Mega Man 11 from them. Now can we get some more Resident Evil? I'd like some Resident Evil. Let's get Resident Evil 4 on Switch. Let's get all the Resident Evil games on Switch. Let's do it. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was finally announced. Everyone was sure that New Super Mario Bros. U would come, but I feel like it's a little bit awkward calling it New Super Mario Bros. U, because the U is because of the Wii U, and this isn't the Wii U. So it just feels a bit awkward. I like the logo. They incorporated the Joy-Cons into the logo, which was really cool. But I'm a little bit scared because, yeah, we got Nabbit as a new character. We got Toadette as a new character. But then we have Peachette. Why does Toadette turn into Peach? I don't understand. It is scary. It is terrifying. It is going to influence the fandom in horrible, horrible ways. But really, the game looks awesome. It has the content from New Super Mario Bros. U, and I believe Luigi U as well, which is exciting. I never bought those games on the Wii U, so I'm probably going to pick them up and play them when they come out on Switch, because it's been a long time since I played a 2D Mario game. Like, a long time. So I'm totally down for it. Moving on, Katamari Damacy Reroll got announced. Now, Katamari Damacy is a very Japanese game where the entire goal is to roll, roll, and roll some more, so that you can make your piles of rolled things become stars in the sky, apparently, and it is insane. It is the most Japanese game in the world. There are dancing pandas, there's a really big guy with a weird helmet and a human face, and he's like the king of the cosmos, and it's kind of horrifying, but it's also strangely intriguing. And as someone who has seen Katamari Damacy, who is a fan of the franchise but has never actually got the chance to play the games, this is really cool for me. I'm so excited to finally get the chance to play this game, so that's really awesome. Now, before we get to the rest of the Switch stuff, the Direct did cut in to talk about the Nintendo Switch Online, and quite frankly, we learned absolutely nothing new. We just learned more about the stuff that we already knew about. I don't think any of our questions were answered in a sense, like, is the online going to run better than it is now? Is it going to be more reliable? Like, that sort of stuff. That never really got answered. Instead, we just got this fun little video and the save data saving to Lakitu's cloud. All of your save datas are going to go into a Lakitu now, everyone. The big thing, though, is that the NES games were all basically shown. I think we saw pretty much every single NES game that was out there. And I went through the Direct, and I counted the amount of games we have, and they promised us 20 games? Except, I've counted 22. So let me just go through the games that I've seen. I've seen Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, Baseball, Donkey Kong, Mario Bros, Double Dragon, Excite Bike, Pro Wrestling, Gradius, Ice Climber, Soccer, Ghosts and Goblins, Ice Hockey, River City Ransom, Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros 3, Legend of Zelda, Solomon's Key, Dodgeball, Mario Open Golf, Mighty Bomb Jack, and Metroid. And I believe there was another game that had a boo in the corner of its box art that I couldn't recognize. I don't know which one that is. But yeah, those are all the games that I saw on the screen, and that's 22. We were promised 20 games, which means we're definitely going to be getting more and more. So I'm hoping maybe Adventure of Link could be there. Maybe we could get some other classic NES games. And hopefully this is just the start of an actual virtual console, because if the Switch is going to be supported for long into the future, I guess it maybe makes sense not to just kind of unload everything in one go so that they can kind of ration out the virtual console, even though I really would like to just see some like GBA games and some N64 and GameCube games get some compatibility. That would be pretty nice. We did also get an announcement for NES controllers that you can actually plug into your slots where the Joy-Con will go to charge them, and you can use them to play these NES games, and they look really, really cool. The problem is they're $60. They are as expensive as an actual game, and quite frankly, this is the one thing I've had a problem with when it comes to Nintendo's accessories for the Switch. They are so overpriced, it hurts. So chances are I will be waiting until someone puts them on sale on eBay for like 20 quid or something, because quite frankly I'm not going to pay full price $60 for some NES controllers when, quite frankly, I could use that to buy an actual game or, you know, pay my bills and, you know, other stuff. It's just too much money. Nintendo, you need to focus on, like, maybe make it like $30 instead. People might buy it then. The NES Classic wasn't that much money, was it? I don't recall if it was, but I just think it's ridiculous just how pricey it is to kind of pay for new Joy-Cons and new accessories, and it's like the one thing with the Switch I just hate. So, the online segment ends with less of our questions answered than we went going in, like that nothing got answered. We basically got the exact same information, and they didn't even reveal any exclusive offers. How wounded was I when I heard that? I was very wounded. So, Pokemon Let's Go gets a little segment. We get to talk about partner Pokemon having specific new moves in battle. Eevee has this sort of flare attack. Pikachu obviously has like a kind of thunder attack. And they are now replacing HMs with secret techniques that your partner Pokemon can learn. I don't think these moves will show up in your battle moves, I don't think, but it is interesting that they have just decided to forego HMs completely, similarly to how they did it in Gen 7, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's good. I think it's a good change, but obviously I never played Gen 7, so I don't really have experience with the new system, so I'm still very much kind of like waiting to try this out. You know, you can change your partner Pokemon's hair by brushing them on the gamepad. Yes, you can brush them. Fire Emblem Fates all over again. Didn't get cut out this time. And of course there is the new Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Pikachu Switch bundle that is coming, along with the Pokeball extension that, you know, some people might like, some people might want. Moving on, we then have Diablo III, the Eternal Collection, and it looks pretty damn good, I've got to say. Given that I've never played a Diablo game, it looks interesting enough. I like the Ganondorf costume. I like how the game looks and runs. I don't know how it's going to feel, given that Diablo was traditionally a PC franchise, and then moving on to a handheld with a lot less buttons, a lot less kind of customization. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'll be interested to see how it goes. It comes out November 2nd, so we'll be finding out very soon. Super Mario Party gets a very big segment, and it just talks about all the stuff we already knew from past events. There is that new co-op river mode, you know, it talks about the online and about how you can play minigames with your friends. Still didn't tell us if you could play boards online, but I don't think you can. I think it's just going to be the minigames. It makes me less hesitant, or more hesitant if I want to buy it, but if the single player content's good, I might pick it up just for a bit of fun, you know, just to have the game. But straight after that, we got a big surprise. Game Freak announces a new RPG called Town, and it's a working title, so there's more to it. I originally thought Town was just like a project name. I didn't think it was actually like the name of the game. And from what we were told, it's a game that takes place solely in a single town, so I don't know how varied the gameplay will be there. I've played games that seems similar to that, and I've never been a big fan, so I don't know how I feel. But at the same time, this is Game Freak making a new RPG. Like, they've been stuck with Pokemon for goodness knows how long. I think it's pretty crazy that they're going full on with this new stuff. I'm completely down with them making a new RPG, and if it does well, I'll be really happy for them, but I probably won't be picking it up myself. City Skylines got an announcement. Does anyone really care? Like, I'm sorry. I don't really care about City Skylines. It's nice that it's on the Switch. I know there are people who like the sort of, like, tycoon-style gameplay of games like that, and that's cool. I mean, if we can't have SimCity, because who would want SimCity? It's shit. City Skylines is the better option. I would like to see Sims 4 eventually come to Switch, though, if that's ever possible, so fingers crossed for that. Daemon X Machina did get a big segment. We found out that you can equip weapons as you defeat enemies, like on the go. It is a mech game, very kind of just explosions, big guns, big robots, destroy everything. Apparently the story is that the moon crashed into the Earth or something, so, you know, obviously it's just an alternate timeline from Majora's Mask. And you can explore on foot as well as in your mech. You can actually run around the game world on foot. Not sure whether that's going to have any benefits or not, but certainly it looks interesting, it looks unique, and it's a game that I think some people are going to enjoy. So after Daemon X Machina, we got Yoshi's Crafted World getting its full-on reveal. It is for spring 2019, same as Yoshi's Woolly World, and there's a lot of information we got here. Firstly, you can go to the foreground and the background. We knew a little bit about this from the original reveal way back in E3 2017, I believe that was when it was revealed. And now we're kind of getting even more information. You can actually flip the perspective to see different enemies, and the biggest news, you can actually do stages backwards. Like, it's not just a case of get to the end of the stage. You get to the end of the stage, and then if you want to, you can flip the stage around again and get a completely different perspective on the level you just traveled through, which I think is an incredibly awesome concept. And I think that is gonna really kind of just open up a whole new level of perspective for the game. And there's so much that they could probably implement just because of these features to make some pretty mind-bending puzzles, or just make some really cool set pieces, in my opinion, so I'm really excited for that. Asmodee Digital is bringing along 5 different board games, 3 at the moment, 2 planned. We've got Carcassonne, Lord of the Rings, the Living Card Game, and Pandemic coming soon. And then coming later down the line, we have Catan, which, you know, Settlers of Catan, one of the biggest board games of all time for board game enthusiasts. And there is a game based on the board game Munchkin, I believe it's called. I don't really know much about that one. Catan is the one that I kind of like clicked with, and then Lord of the Rings Living Card Game because it's Lord of the Rings and I really like Lord of the Rings, so I kind of connected to that. I think it's cool. Not my cup of tea, depends on the games that they bring over, because, you know, there are some board games that I would be interested in, and then there are some that I'm just like, I don't really give a damn about it. But, you know, it's pretty cool. There are people who really like that sort of stuff, and they are getting their fix. Civilization 6 was announced next. They tried to act like nobody knew it was coming, but, you know, it got leaked. It was legitimately leaked, and Civilization 6 is a big game. The Civilization franchise is extremely popular. I have a friend who loves the series, and I think it's good that this is coming onto Switch because it finally gives people who like that style of gameplay, a portable version of said games. I think that's just really cool. The portability is going to really help Civilization gameplay, because you can kind of pause your games. You don't have to, like, if you're playing it on the PC, you have to save your game on the PC, and then you have to leave, and then you can only play it again when you come back to the PC. With your Switch, you can take your Switch with you, so you can literally play it wherever, whenever, which is just brilliant. Starlink got a new segment, and Wolf was announced. We knew Wolf was coming. The question is it just going to be Wolf? Are we going to be seeing Leon Pawelski, I think that's his name, and the cheetah guy, and just the rest of Star Wolf? Or is it just going to be Wolf himself? Can't tell. His voice, oh boy, what a voice. But it looks like a brilliant game. Y'all know that I'm interested in it. I want to see how Ubisoft makes a better Star Fox game than the Star Fox developers, and I'm going to be supporting this game like hell. It looks great. The World Ends With You has got a new story segment announced, completely exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. This is news that I don't know if everyone was expecting, but that is kind of crazy. I mean, this game is quite old, like it was for the DS, and then they're suddenly bringing in an entirely new story segment just for the fans. I know Zombie's going to be really happy with this. I know that anyone who is a fan of The World Ends With You is now going to want to pick this game up, because now there's actually fresh content for them to experience, and that is pretty brilliant. Torna, the Golden Country, Xenoblade 2 DLC, got another trailer. You know, it's the same stuff we've been seeing, nothing too crazy. And then we got a little bit of a sizzle reel. We got Warframe, Just Dance 2019, FIFA 19, Team Sonic Racing, NBA 2K19, NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, and LEGO DC Supervillains. You know, all games that kind of flashed by. Team Sonic Racing, there were a few new tracks, I believe, that were shown off during its segment, but the rest of the games, like, there's not much to say about them. That's why they were in the sizzle reel. Then we get to what I would say is probably the biggest hype moment of the entire Direct. Square Enix is just like, so, Final Fantasy. I hear you like Final Fantasy. Well, how about you have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? And Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition? And World of Final Fantasy Maxima? And Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody. And Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. Oh, and there's more. Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, and 10-2 are also coming to the Nintendo Switch. What the fuck? Honest to God, that was the hypest moment. We didn't get one game, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight. We got 9 Final Fantasy titles announced for the Nintendo Switch. 9. How do you even, like, react to that? It's Square. Please, calm yourselves down. You're just blowing it everywhere. Jesus. So let's go through these one at a time. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, obviously it debuted on a Nintendo system, the GameCube, I believe, and you had to use the GBA link cable to play it. So it's good that that's getting a remake. Of course it's going to be on a Nintendo system. It makes sense. And it makes sense that it would have been announced in last week's Direct. And it kind of explains why Sony got the announcement there first, because Nintendo's Direct got delayed, so it makes sense there. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, out now! It's out today! Like, it's ready to play, you can play it! If you don't really care about graphics, then go straight for Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, give it some support, that's crazy. While the Final Fantasy Maxima, glad to see that that's there. Haven't played the World of Final Fantasy games myself, but you know, they looked good. I'm sure they've got their audience, I'm pretty happy for the people who like that. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody. Oh, it just hurts. It actually hurts, because I know that they're not the same company that makes the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, that's Spike Chunsoft, but it does hurt seeing a Mystery Dungeon game that isn't Pokemon, because it just reminds me how good a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game would look on the Switch, and it just makes me wish that it was a thing. So, 2019, come on Spike Chunsoft, get onto it, along with some Zero Escape and Danganronpa ports, let's go. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age, brilliant. Everyone was like, wow, crazy, we're getting not just Final Fantasy 15, we're getting a Final Fantasy 12 with proper graphics that looks really nice. And then they're just like, Final Fantasy 7, because they show off Aerith, and everyone's like, what? Then they show off Final Fantasy 9, and everyone's like, what? And then they show off Final Fantasy 10, and everyone's like, what? And then they show off Final Fantasy 10 too, and everyone's like, oh. But really, it is insane. We have got all of these iconic Final Fantasies coming to the Switch. I played Final Fantasy VII as a very young boy. It was my brother owned the game, and I didn't really understand the game when I was a child, so it would be really nice to kind of go back and play the game officially. And then Final Fantasy X and X-2, I've heard good things about 10, 10-2 not so much, but 10 I've heard so much good things about, and I've been dying to kind of try it out myself, and I'm glad that finally it's coming to a console that I have, so I can play it, because I don't really want to play it on PC. I really want to have it on my Switch. So aside from that, we then move from Final Fantasy, from Square, to Super Smash Bros. Because they announced that the Smash was going to get a console edition, and it comes with Smash Joy-Cons that have the Smash Slash on them, as well as an interesting set of decor on the Switch dock that has the 8 original fighters from Smash 64, like kind of just imprinted on that. You've got Yoshi, Pikachu, Samus, Donkey Kong, Link, Mario, I'm really dumb because I'm forgetting to Fox, and who am I forgetting? Pikachu, right? Yeah, Pikachu. So it has all of those guys kind of on the dock, and it's really cool. You get a nice download code with the game. It comes out on November 2nd, which is interesting. So that means people are going to have game codes way early in advance. They won't be able to play it, obviously, but they're going to have game codes really early. So I can imagine people doing giveaways with some of those codes. And I think it's really cool that the Switch is finally getting some special editions, even if I don't think the Slash Joy-Cons are really that worth it. I mean, it's nice that they're a thing and they're collectibles. I don't know if it's worth rebuying a Switch for them, though. Maybe if you could get the Joy-Cons on their own, I think that would be really cool. And I don't know if they will sell them separately, but I think it would be really cool if they did. And then, this is what I'm sure people want to hear my opinion on. Isabelle was announced for Smash, and then Animal Crossing 2019 was announced for the Switch. Now, Animal Crossing, I'm going to start with that. Brilliant, I'm hyped. I know there are so many people I know who want a new Animal Crossing. I never really played the series much myself. I'm willing to have my first proper foray be the 2019 game. I'm excited, I'm hyped. Yes, this is great. Isabelle for Smash, though. Let's just quickly go over that. The trailer, it was about a minute 30 before we got to any gameplay. But if you guys noticed, at the start of the trailer, there was no little Smash Slash that kind of signified it was a Smash trailer. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because I don't think this was meant to be a traditional Smash trailer. This was meant to be an Animal Crossing trailer that just so happened to have Isabelle coming in Smash as well. Now, I think Isabelle as a fighter is a more versatile villager. I don't think she is completely unique. She is not an Echo. She is listed as unique on the site, but I think if you look at her moveset, it is very much like a semi-clone sort of moveset, kind of like how Lucas is to Ness, how Falco is to Fox, you know, that sort of stuff. How Wolf is to Fox, even. She's not a clone. She isn't. She just uses a lot of, like, similar moves. Like, you know, she drops a pot, the villager drops a plant pot. She, instead of creating a tree, she actually buries a Lloyd rocket in the ground like a mine that will explode upwards. She's got a different recovery, but it does have balloons on the top. I like her fishing rod. That is something I'm really interested in. I like that. That's going to have some really interesting tether grabs. I think that's going to be really cool. Her moveset looks fun. Isabelle is a character that definitely makes the most sense, and looking back, I think she was clearly going to be the revealed character for this direct, because she is, out of all the viable characters for this Smash, the only one that I think could appeal to this massive audience, and she just tied into Animal Crossing 2019, so it made sense to put her there. That being said, I do have to wonder if she was considered as an Echo originally, and then maybe just kind of got a bit of a better moveset. They just said they didn't want her to have an axe, so instead they kind of just amped up her own moveset, made it a bit different, and then she became her own unique fighter. I really am happy for Isabelle, though. I did predict that she would be coming as an Echo, but she is in the game, so she gets crossed off my bingo card. She was also the highest rated character I had in my Rate Their Chances thing after the August Direct ratings. I had her at a 90%, so I was right! So really, the question is, does Isabelle getting into Smash change the game for any of the other potential Smash fighters? No, not at all. I don't think it changes anything. Because she was already going to get in. Like, Isabelle was an obvious choice. She may not have shown up in the ballot consolidation poll that I keep using, and she may not have shown up in that sense, but she is the face of Animal Crossing. She is incredibly popular, and it was just the perfect chance to add a character that there are a lot of people who wanted Isabelle. Like, I know the hardcore Smash fan base, a lot of them may not have wanted Isabelle, like, over another character, but at the same time, like, the general public, who I think have been a bit shafted this time around because they haven't really had a character that represents them, they got Isabelle. And Isabelle is awesome, and I like her moveset, I like her character, I like her more than the villager, and I think she's going to be extremely fun to play as, and I don't think she's going to affect any speculation at all, because this was a general direct. She was clearly the one that would be revealed. She fit the bill the most. All those, like, hype requests, like Gino, Isaac, Banjo, Shantae, everyone else on my bingo card, they can come in a Smash Direct, or some sort of reveal that is dedicated to Smash, and I think that would make way more sense. But Isabelle, I think, just was perfect for this direct. Now, the one thing that I am a little bit concerned about is because Isabelle was revealed, we obviously didn't get any new stages, so that 103 stage theory is still alive. I don't believe it, and I'm going to continue going into speculation believing there are more stages, because the way Sakurai phrased it in the August Direct, it implied that that was only the present count and not the final count. But at the same time, you know, it's annoying that it's still alive. And I do want to point out that Isabelle was in. Verge Ben was right, because when he originally leaked her, he never said she was an Echo, he said he wasn't sure. So, yeah, Verge Ben. He also said Ken, and a Pokemon Gen 7 rep, which his sources said was Incineroar, but he never said out loud. That was leaked by Loz, so could still be any Gen 7 rep, really. And a Square Enix rep, who's probably Gino. So, yeah, that's fun. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for watching this Direct Thoughts video. We will get back to our regularly scheduled videos coming soon. But what are your guys' thoughts on this Direct? What was the most hype reveal for you guys? And how are you feeling as we move into the rest of September? And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.